Hello, Old Bridge. Welcome. I'm Mayor Owen Henry. Today I am joined with Ward 1 Council member Dave Merwin. Welcome, Dave. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having
Today we're going to talk about a little bit about governing here in Old Bridge, and specifically Ward 1. Dave, we're coming together. I had Mary here a few weeks ago. We talked about the role that the mayor plays, the executive branch, the council, the legislative branch. You make the laws. You give me the money. You allow me to run the town. You want to talk a little bit about your role as councilman? Now, you've been here for almost 3 years now as councilman Ward 1. Tell us a little about, and I can honestly say you understand the role. You understand your role as council. You've been involved in the budget process, but maybe for the residents, explain the role the mayor and the council have here in Old Bridge.
Well, like you said, the council approves the budget. We make any laws and stuff. Matter of fact, we just had that new parking enforcement law down there in Ward 1. And it takes a combined effort of all those on the council, and the ward system kind of makes us a.
And for the most part, Dave, I think we all work together.
We all work together, pretty much.
For the community, I think our interests are all the same. We want to help the residents of Old Bridge have a high quality of life.
Yep.
And I thank the council. I always do for their support. Over the past 8+ years. And Dave, tell us a little bit about Ward 1. I know a lot of people in Old Bridge, Lawrence Harbor. It's a big town. We're 22 miles from one destination to one side to the other. So give us a little bit of background on Ward 1. You need some of the characteristics of Ward 1.
Well, like you said, sometimes Ward 1 gets the connotation it's Lawrence Harbor. It's much more than Lawrence Harbor. Mm-hmm. It's Lawrence Harbor, Cliffwood Beach, Bridgepoint, Cheesequake Woods, Cheesequake Village, Cheesequake Estates, all of Disbrow Road. It goes into Leonia Park, Ellen Heath. We have the triangle on Spring Hill Road, and that Spring Hill Road, Route 34, Cottrell Triangle there. So all of that is in Annie and Carey Drive over there. And so all of that is Ward 1. It's a very diverse ward. It's both ethnically,
yes,
like age-wise. Cheesequake Village is a 714 home senior center. So like I said, it's a very diverse ward.
Yeah, I have written down here. I have Bridgepoint, another largely densely populated area.
504 homes or something, right in that one little spot.
And you've neglected to mention the waterfront. Ward 1 is unique.
Well, that's
given.
To us, it's given.
Yes.
The people of Old Bridge don't realize the jewel that Old Bridge has with its waterfront.
I've been saying that for years.
The people from the other side of town need to get down there. We have that boardwalk. We have the walkway. The
view across the bay.
You got Staten Island,
$1 million view.
Coney Island, the Verrazano Bridge. Yeah. You have the harbor of Perth Amboy, South Amboy, very clearly, right. Yeah. Matter of fact, unfortunately, when the Twin Towers went down, everybody flocked to the beach.
Sure, the smoke was right over our heads.
Yes, and watched it, come down, and it was a very sad day. And,
sure.
So now that you know how big Ward 1 is,
like the other wards, the town.
yeah.
People don't realize how big Old Bridge is.
Yes.
And a big town is made up of 6 big wards.
Yes, it
I think Ward 1 has some unique characteristics that the rest of the town doesn't have.
And the jewel being the waterfront.
Right.
And
we're going to talk about
that, right?
Great. Dave, difference between, I said last month I had Council President Mary Sohar, who's now a council at large.
Right.
You're a ward council.
Right.
Tell us a little bit of difference about an at-large councilman or council person and a ward council person.
Well, the ward council people, and like you said, there's 6 of us, are elected by that little group of people to.
Little big group.
Little big group that we're elected to represent them and their interest, but at the same time we have the whole interest of the whole town. Statutorily, there's not a difference between the at-large council and the ward council. We all have one vote, and and hopefully everybody's putting it for the best interest of Old Bridge Township.
Human nature, you're more concerned about Ward 1.
And as I should be.
You can see that in the council. But the ward council people, they're dedicated to their wards. Yeah. But at the same time, you play a crucial role in the other wards when you vote on issues. And the council at large, pretty much, they're responsible for the whole town.
For the whole town.
They are elected by the entire town, not just the ward. So that's You know, and they run with the mayor, so it's a big.
Yeah, listen, this is not for the faint of heart.
That's for sure. That's
you
all.
know, and then somebody that doesn't have any time. Believe me, it's.
But with the Ward 1, you get with the council being a ward person, you get the phone calls at all hours of the day and night. Then they call the mayor's office, you know, on Monday. But you have a great relationship. I found as a mayor, you get involved with the people as Ward 1. That gives you more opportunity to be more directly involved than an at-large council person would be.
Yeah, there's no
And
doubt.
that's an experience you can't replace.
I've been involved as a first aid member down there for 47 years.
Right.
So, I mean, I've gotten to know a lot of people through their good times, their bad times.
Yeah.
And believe me, they know my phone number, you know, and they don't hesitate calling no matter what hour of the day it is. I mean, I don't like it at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we do get them. And, you know.
But sometimes that call at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you can really help somebody, it's very rewarding.
You know,
I don't mind them.
Listen, I don't mind them at all either, Mayor. That's what I'm there for.
Exactly.
You know, so.
It's great. Now, Dave, with Ward 1, as you have some unique challenges and some unique issues that we are working on. I listed 3 of them, and we talked before the show. I think we should go in that order. I think the main issue, say a 9 out of 10 right now, is the cleanup of the beach to get those fences down along that brilliant waterfront that we talked about. Yes. And maybe shed some light, Dave. You've been involved, I've been involved from the beginning of this, and where we're at, where we're going, a little bit about the process.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that back in the 60s, National Lead and its subsidiaries dumped some lead kettle bottoms
and they
in that
served their
area.
purpose, right? They were heavy, they retained the beach.
Yep, and we didn't know at that time in the 60s, the town was aware they were doing it.
Right.
You know, but
there were some red flags. 1 or 2 people did raise some red flags and say, you know, we're going to have problems with this 40 years from now.
Yeah.
Same thing like telling us we're going to have problems 40 years from now. So.
And you know, it became a problem. Under Mayor Phillips, it was discovered that, you know, it came about because they went to give the state some property.
Margaret's Creek was
right,
going to be
Margaret's Creek. We wanted to give that to the
Peace
state
Creek.
to be an estuary, and it came back to bite us. You know, our good deed did not go unpunished, and it found out that we had this lead
But
contamination.
in a way, we found it. Now
we're dealing with
it. It needs to be done.
And with the help of Frank Pallone, our congressman, we are a lot further along than we would have been. These things,
people don't understand how long it takes to get these sites cleaned up, and we are ahead of the.
Well ahead. We're 12 years. This has been going on for 12 years or so now, and believe me, we've already had Margaret's Creek cleaned up, as you know, and right now they're at the 95% completion thing of the remedial design for the waterfront area. Our
the jetty and the seawall.
Yeah,
are all going to be replaced.
Right. Oh, I think it's our area. I don't think this entails the western jetty in Saraville. All right, but it may. I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe it does. But our area
to get our
is
fences
ready.
down. The fences that are on town. You know.
The biggest thing right now is going to be funding, and hopefully the funding will be there. And if it does, it's like when I say 95% complete, that doesn't mean the shovel's going to be in the ground next week. It's still another 2 years, I think, before we'll see the cleanup of that area commencing and being done.
The residents need to know everybody is committed. You know, the administration is committed. If we have to come up with the money, some money. I believe they're talking $70–80 million for the total cleanup. Responsible parties, unfortunately, as you know, the township knew it was going on, so we were named as a responsible party.
Right.
But we have the township attorney representing us, and we're fighting for every dollar. And I think we're gonna be okay. Hopefully
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. We're fighting the government.
Yes.
I don't.
We're not the innocent victims that we made out to be. So, but I think we're all committed.
Yeah.
The council.
And believe me, to the people down in Ward 1, to the people in the rest of the town.
What's good for that?
Yeah, it's moving.
Yes.
Don't think that it's not moving. Don't think that we're not on the phone every day, right? We're in constant contact with the EPA and
And all there's a number of people involved.
yeah, way too
Insurance
many.
companies, attorneys.
You know, but like I said, we have good representation in Congress with Frank, and he's with us. You know, you're with us, so it's going to be cleaned up.
The second issue I have, Dave, is the influx of visitors on the weekends. And that's initiated a whole response. I mean, because of the beauty, because of its closeness right off the parkway, you don't have to fight the short traffic to go down a little further.
Free.
It's free.
Yeah.
So we've had to put additional resources there. We have police there on the weekends. We have some additional.
Well, we have police there in the summertime 7 days a week.
7 days a week with our beach patrol.
Right.
But that has caused some issues, and that was addressed a couple council meetings ago. If you want to talk about that with the parking.
Right. And those, and believe me, this is for the people of Ward 1. Don't worry about it. We have a very smart police department.
Yeah.
We have computers in the police car. We know who is who. Just apply for your permits for the residential parking. And I know you don't think we're smart and that we came up with this crazy idea, but there was no sense of just banning parking on Shoreland and Bayview because all
We
it was
understand
going to
some of the
do
smaller houses don't
was-
have off-street parking
right,
in that area.
that's the area. Lawrence Harbor doesn't have curbs, doesn't have sidewalks, and a lot of places don't have driveways. So parking is limited. So when these people come in on the, and it's not just on the weekend in the summer, it's 7 days a week.
Yeah, as you said, it goes with the
Yeah,
fish.
you know, the fishermen are out there but the people are utilizing the beach because the water is so clean.
Yeah.
This is the cleanest I've seen the water in
We
my
don't want to
lifetime.
encourage any swimming or people going
No,
in the water
no,
because
we
there's no
don't.
lifeguards there.
You know, there are some restrictions on the fishing and the clamming and everything else, but you know they're still out there doing it, and it creates a problem for our residents. They lose their parking. In the middle of the night, they're hearing the banging. You know, they're cleaning their buckets, and so they're getting woke up. So we passed that residential permit parking only.
Which had full support from the council.
It went 9-0, and we're gonna, you know, it affects only that one area. So you know, I think it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Like I said, our police department knows how to handle it. So
The third issue I have listed, Dave, is at the last council meeting, the township planner came before the council and asked permission for the planning board to go look at that area and maybe consider it for an area of rehabilitation and redevelopment. And as you said, there's such a need for an influx of for investment to improve the quality of life, raise property values, and again, it was fully supported by the council. What's your thoughts on that?
well, it's like you said, it is. There's
It's old. It's been there a while.
sections of land that have not been utilized in 60 years. I mean, that's ridiculous. So we're in the 2020s, and it's time that we start thinking like we're in the 2020s, and we can come in here, we get nice mixed use, commercial, residential, and you keep them in a certain area. I think right now the area is limited to the Lawrence Parkway Route 35
We want to start off in a
corridor.
small area, but
Right.
eventually I think we want to expand it to the entire 35 corridor. I'm
35,
sorry,
yeah.
35 corridor. That
But
comes
right
up-
now, people should not worry.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and there's no condemnation. We're not coming to take in your house. You want to stay, you stay.
stay.
You want to
But it
sell, you
doesn't-
sell. Whatever
it
you want to
increases
do.
your property value if
Exactly.
you're in that area.
You know, it's going on all around us. It's the way of the land, and I think it's a good idea, and we need it. And it may not be as bad as you think it is.
No, it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it is.
And one thing I forgot to mention, Ward 1 uniqueness is you have 35, you have the Parkway, you have 34, three major highways that go through. I don't think any other ward has that. I think that's three major highways, hundreds of thousands of people travel.
And you mentioned Bridgepoint. Bridgepoint probably doesn't, a lot of the residents aren't even aware that A, they live in Old Bridge, and B, how beautiful the waterfront is.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they go to work in the morning, they leave their complex, they get on the
Well, they have a
Parkway.
beautiful facility
Yeah,
where they can do that.
But they get right on the Parkway, they come home at night, off the Parkway, into their complex. They're not utilizing everything that's coming around because they are a combined, an enclosed community where they have their own clubhouse, pools, and you know. So you know, that's the uniqueness there.
That's it, Dave. You have anything else you want to add as far as?
Well, Lawrence Harbor, or Ward 1, is home to the annual Memorial Day Parade.
One of my.
It's home to the annual Saltwater Day Festival.
One of my
These
favorite
are
events.
things that we didn't get to enjoy this year because of the pandemic. But
We're
believe me,
confident they're coming back.
they're coming back. And if they're not, we're probably not, so it's not going to matter.
Well,
But I'm sure we're going to be back.
I think everyone can't wait till 2020 is over.
Yeah. You know, we have our own little 9/11 memorial
Mm-hmm.
because we've had one every year. I missed this year's the first time since the beginning due to some illness. And I had been tested for COVID, so I didn't want to.
Like all of us at the town.
Yeah, I didn't want a chance spreading it. And what else do we have that's very unique? We have Cheesequake State Park. All of Cheesequake State Park is in Ward 1.
I go there often. Bring my grandson there. He loves it.
It's a beautiful place. It's a state park, right? I forget how many, 600 acres?
It's big on both sides of the park.
Both sides of the parkway, both sides of Ward 1, you know. The residents of Cheesequake Village border it, you know. What else do we have? We got the new basketball courts, Mayor.
I forgot to
they
mention
are
that.
so beautiful.
Again, complete support from the council.
Yeah.
With the
And I think it's the
capital
nicest.
budget.
I think it's the nicest one in town out of all the
biggest.
ones that. Believe
3
me,
courts.
it's the most utilized courts in town.
And we're going to get that fence fixed.
Right. You know that's a start. That's that. You know that's a that is just right at our beachfront. So come on down, play a little basketball. We have the county has the waterfront park down there from the Morgan Creek to Bargers Creek.
The boardwalk
Right.
path you can walk.
You got
2 miles.
you got a playground in Clipwood Beach at the
Pirates
Cove. You got the playground at the Lawrence Harbor beachfront. It's over 1.5 miles of walkway for you can get out and you can do your exercising. And what better place to do exercising along there?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't wait until it's completely finished and we're good.
Well, I want to thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. I hope you've learned something about Ward 1 and Councilman Merwin. If anyone has any questions, please go to the township website, or you can reach out to Mr. Merwin directly if you want. I'm sure as a ward council, he's shared his phone number and email address with everyone. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for joining us today.